we knew that the Cardinals, and I like the Cardinals too, we knew that they were good. Obviously, they came off of a 10-win season last year, but I'm with you. I don't know how many people. Hey, by the way, you brought up the Cardinals. Carson Palmer, is he going to be good to go to stick around in the quarterback slot there? I know he got back to work, with those nerve issues. You never know. Are things going forward with the starting quarterback situation back to being Carson Palmer?
I would be concerned, any coach or any trainer or any general manager, I would be concerned about his health situation. And, I thought he's been shaky from the minute they got him, simply because of the age and that he had not proven much. But let me tell you something. He's proving that he is hanging in and that he will not. He's not the guy who will make you or break you win, but he's not going to do something to let you lose either. Now, right now, the way I look at it is it could be Carson Palmer, it could be Drew Stanton. Both of them are very capable quarterbacks and can lead the team. It's the rest of the team around these guys. It's the fact that the offensive line improved. It's the fact that they got a good running back in the draft. It's the fact that Larry Fitzgerald is Larry Fitzgerald and so is Michael Floyd. These are good, solid components on this team, and the fans here have been waiting a long time for a team that can possibly win the division. And, I talk to Cardinals fans here every day. In fact, the manager at my PT clinic where I do my physical therapy used to be an assistant trainer for the Cardinals when he was a graduate college student, and he tells me he's the biggest Cardinal fan in the world, and we've been telling each other for weeks, going on months, that this team is secretly going to surprise a lot of people this year.
There you go. Maybe Vegas makes a ton on a Cardinals-Browns Super Bowl. There you go. Two teams shock the world and get there. Well, let me just tell you, that one would be a bigger shock than the other. But yeah, the Cardinals, they improved to 4-1 and 3-0 at home. Always good to give that home crowd some home cooking when it comes to the victories there. And yeah, they continue on with the beginning of their season. With Palmer, I just think I like Stanton and the job he's done, but you get maybe not on the stat line, but that having that veteran quarterback, it's a steadier presence. Those receivers, I think they like having him there better. But hey, Stanton did a great job too. I'm just saying. And Palmer wasn't terrible at all, was he? 28 of 44, 250, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And to the credit of the Cardinals quarterbacks, no interceptions thrown all season for the Cardinals quarterbacks. That's as big a reason as any that they're where they are right now, is that no quarterback on your team has thrown a pick yet. Any coach would love to have that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's good. It shows good work ethic on the coaching staff's behalf that they've managed to eliminate so far. Let's not give them the horns, but that they've managed so far not to throw any interceptions. And that's a big key to this offense, holding on to the ball and completing drives, scoring drives. Even when they just get a field goal, it's still key that they've moved the ball downfield 6, 7, 8, 9 plays and not a turnover.
Right, same thing here with the Browns. That's the biggest reason they've done what they've done, is playing clean football from the, they lost a couple the other, they lost one. They fumbled a couple times the other day, but no fumbles, no interceptions. Absolutely. Clean football keeps you in those games and gives you a chance to win. Dr. Football, my man, thank you so much. Another great conversation. We got another slate of football action in front of us, and we will catch up on Tuesday and see how the NFL's latest week is shook out and see if the Browns went and handled the Jaguars down in Jacksonville.
Jerry, you have a good week, and I'm going to leave you folks with this. This is the time now in the season, as we get into the middle of October, when you separate the wheat from the chaff, when you see the contenders pull away from the pretenders.
Absolutely. Trust me, Browns fans feeling the same way. They want to know which one they got their hands on right now, too. We'll get a good look at that here starting this weekend, as you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to, and this is one of them. Dr.
Right.
Football, enjoy this week, and we'll catch up next week.
All right, Jerry, you take care, and we'll speak to you next weekend. I'll text you during the game on Sunday.
You got it. My man, Dr. Football. You guys can tweet with them anytime at Ask Dr. Football. Ask Dr. Football. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Doug Plagens, the voice of the Lake Erie Monsters on radio and TV, joins us to recap opening weekend for the Monsters and look ahead at the next set of games. Don't go anywhere. Doug Plagens, talking Monsters, next here on the Sports Fix.
Warning. Listening to the Sports Fix could cause serious injury, bodily harm, or even death.
Ah, broken blood vessel!
You've been warned. The Sports Fix.
Hey guys, before we go to the break, I want to talk to you a little bit again about our good friends at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, some of the hottest fights in the world today. Each and every one of their huge events, Harry Buffalo is one of the few places in Northeast Ohio you can go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Harry Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks, and every day of the week there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great North Buffalo. Join the herd.
Hey, this is Antoine Jameson, and you listen to the Sports Fix.
Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs. There's literally only one place to go. FantasyJocks.com. The Sports Fix is now available every day on the world's largest internet radio service, iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeartRadio app, subscribe to the show, and get your fix.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back in 1990, when I joined Herb in the booth, you could say that first game was when I became a lifelong Tribe fan. Something about Cleveland made us want to stay and call it our home, raise our family here. I can promise you one thing, home or on the road, what you feel every game. Cleveland fans are passionate and pretty vocal. I respect it. This is our town. This is a Tribe town.
This is Dean Chenoweth, head coach of Cleveland's Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Feel like a monster.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with all for joining us last segment. Thanks to Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com for joining us earlier. To the hotline, Doug Plagens, the voice, you hear it in the background, of the Lake Erie Monsters, joins us on the season. Opening weekend is off and in the books, and the Monsters, we talked about it yesterday, they sure would have liked it to go the other way. If you're going to win one and lose one, probably would have rather you took care of the home fans. But the weekend of action, the season has gotten rolling. It's from the Lake Erie Monsters here. You can't call, but you can keep it rolling with us. Facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Let's go to the phone lines. Doug Plagens, voice of the Monsters. How you doing, my man, after the opening weekend got rolling?
Feels great to have the season underway.
Absolutely. I knew that was going to be the first thing you said. Here we go now. The grind is upon you, but it hasn't yet become a grind. It's all fresh and new and bright and shiny, and the Monsters dropped the puck on the opening night, and you couldn't ask for anything better than a 34-0 victory over the Griffins and a beautiful way to open the season for the Lake Erie Monsters.
Like you said, they opened it the best way you possibly could. You go on the road, a sold-out Van Andel Arena up in Grand Rapids. Calvin Pickard was very good. The defense did a great job keeping a lot of shots to the outside, and the Monsters had a few guys who really were clicking and, offensively just look like they're coming out of the gates pretty hard. Had some big performances on opening night in that 4-0 win. That was one of those wins where across the board, everybody in the lineup, whether you were on the score sheet or not, contributed in some way, and it was just a good team win for the first game of the year, and it really showed some encouraging signs. You had to know, though, that going into the second game of the weekend, Grand Rapids was going to have some pushback, and they certainly did. They won 3-2, but Grand Rapids is a very good team. You come out of that with a split. Like you said, maybe you would have liked to have had it the other way around and gotten the win at home. I think there's still something, though, to getting the 4-0 win to start the season in that first game, because you come out of the gate and say, okay, this is, guys are really encouraged after the game, just talking to them. Guys liked what they saw in that game. I think even in the second game, the team played well despite losing 3-2. You're going to have a lot of close games, not just against Grand Rapids, but in that division all season long. So, it was a good weekend. It was a great way to start it all off. And like I said, I think we saw a lot of bright spots and certainly a lot of encouraging signs. This is going to be a very competitive and a strong hockey team.
For sure. You mentioned before when we previewed, these teams meet 10 times. 8 of them come before Christmas. I mean, what some people may not realize is that you had those 2 preseason games just the week before. So even though they didn't count, I mean, very tough proposition to try to beat the same team 4 times consecutively in such a short period of time like that. So for them to very nearly pull it off, as you said, there's more to take out of that than just splitting the series there. But yeah, that was actually the 4th meeting between the teams in a matter of a week or 10 days.
Yeah, about a week, and even though the lineup's changed quite a bit, like you said,
absolutely.
It's tough to beat a team that many times in that short of a period of time, and there were, like I said, first game, Mike Scarbosa had a couple of assists. Paul Carey's got 3 points. Gazzino's got points in each game. Kenny Ryan's got points in each game. He's a newcomer to the lineup. Calvin Pickard's been so lots to look at and lots to be excited about with this team. And that last weekend, and some key players still out of the lineup, a little banged up. But hopefully those guys get back in soon. But
only going to get better. And the crowd was there, over 13,000 there before we moved too far past it too. That all time on the Monsters list for shutouts.
Yes, second all time in shutouts now in a Monsters uniform. Just Tyler Wyman ahead of him in that department now. Calvin Pickard's got 8. Still a little bit to go here before he catches Wyman's franchise mark of 13, I believe, the all-time mark. But that's within reach. That's a good season. You could be right there.
Yeah, and 37 saves is nothing to look past. As you said, the next night, I don't know what the record number it was for opening night for the Monsters. I don't know how close they came to it, but a huge, strong crowd.
That was the 13-135 on opening night at the Q. And anybody who's listening right now, thank you very much for being a part of that. It was a great atmosphere, great crowd. Monsters just fell short by a goal, but it was the second biggest crowd at a Monsters home opener, only to the first game in franchise history.
There you go. That's what I was trying to get right there. Was that the one where they had 18,626? Was that the very first
there was the one. The first home opener was 15 something. But this one was the second highest for a home opener. You're thinking of the famous Shaq bobblehead night.
Yes, with the overtime game there, right? Yes, with Texas. That was 18,626, yeah. But still, I mean, very good. Second all-time. I mean, you could feel the energy down there And a lot of fans hit us up saying, hey, man, we're on our way down to the Monsters game and all that. So I was out of town all weekend. Otherwise, I would have been there as well, enjoying it. And you come away with the split. And now here you reach where you and I talked about this for the last 2 weeks, the part where maybe you get a little bit of team building going on in the early part because you've got two weekends in a row with a double shot and then a triple shot where you're going to be out on the road together traveling, Chicago, and then the next week they're coming up. So a chance to kind of do some team building away from home.